Hi, I'm Nick Deeks. I'm Managing Director of WT Partnership Australia, and we are about to embark on a new journey with a new office, a new culture, new look and a new feel.
So right now we're just initiating the project. We're commissioning designers and engineers and other groups to assist us through this whole challenge of finding a location and designing a workspace that's going to be agile, flexible and change the culture of WT.
Our designers are PDM International. It was about having a partner on this journey that I could work with, that understood what I wanted, understood my aspirations for the business, and then could deliver some of those thoughts onto paper.
So our plan is to have PDM take us on the whole journey. So the staff right now are going to be introduced to this new form of working, so that when they walk into the office, they're not lost. They're comfortable that they've got unallocated seating and they understand how to use the lockers, how to use the flexibility and how to get the best out of the workspace.
I think the good thing about PDM really understand our business. I think they've taken the time to get to know our business. Big supporters of culture and also change management.
Most interesting aspect for me is definitely that the client wants to push their boundaries, push their comfort level. Culturally, they certainly have a lot of objectives they'd like to achieve, coming from a very different style and a different way of working.
The project will definitely be a success if the sense of family is renewed. It was one of the key briefing elements right back at the start, and if they get that sense of connection across their organisation, I think it's definitely been a success.
So there's a number of different players, obviously internally and externally. So typically we'd say to a client, mobilise your project team internally first, so that we have a set of stakeholders that know essentially the directives that they need to give to us. But also we've got to get a whole range of sort of key consultants on board, like service consultants, structural engineers, acoustic consultants, lighting consultants.
As an engineer, we got to do some really cool things within the space. We got to do some interesting design concepts, and we really got to work with a client that wanted to embrace things that were a little bit out of the ordinary.
My team have been involved on the sustainability aspects, driving the Green Star side, looking at the energy side. One of the things about this office is, it's a strong focus on it being a great workplace, a healthy workplace. The comment's been made that it's not going to be an office. It's not going to be like an office. I'm looking forward to a completely different way of working. I think it'll be fantastic.
It will be a major success if people wake up in the morning and want to come and work.
I found it really enjoyable to come from where we started, which was with sort of Nick and Phil and Christian from PDM and developing the workplace strategy. I think that's the part that's sort of closest to my heart.
Talks about some best practice protocols for full activity-based workplaces, and then we'll do a bit of an exercise where you guys actually start to just write down some of the things that you think would probably need to be addressed, and you can start putting some parameters around that.
Just to be excited to come here into a great new place.
Something a bit more vibrant and a bit more exciting. Change is good. It's exciting.
There's a lot to consider, I think, between Green Star, the detailed Green Star, the moss wall coming from overseas, the lifting and lowering of tables, multifunctional spaces, obviously having a concept design which is completely out there, and trying to embed that with a sense of belonging and family was a really interesting thing for us to try to overcome.
When I first saw the renders, I was really excited to be involved in this project just to see the finished product. Looking at the drawings and that, it would look pretty detailed, so coordination between ceiling, contractor, joiners is going to be pretty full on.
There was a lot of micro-programming on our end, understanding the lead times associated with the different finishes that were coming into the space. Obviously we decided to build the platform first so the guys could work from that. And then we started high level and complete all the high level works, install the bar table winch system, and then finish off with the finished floor throughout.
I think the team that we worked with was really strong, and actually using a lot of our connections and talking to people in the industry has been really good to actually develop the initial concepts into something that actually functions and something they can use on a day-to-day basis.
They brought their docking station and how they wanted all the cabling and power and data and USB all to work. From there, going to our in-house R&D people, to put together a bracket that was going to suit the housing of their docking station.
The most interesting aspect of this project has obviously been the green wall. Moss is a very new product in Australia. One of the benefits of moss is the fact that it doesn't need ongoing maintenance. It's more about creating a space that people want to be in.
This was a very sophisticated design. The most interesting aspect personally was obviously all the quality finishes and how that interacted with the green star requirements as well.
Saw pictures of it completed and it still didn't do it justice when I walked in. It's just awesome.
Gobsmacked, taken aback, couldn't believe it. And certainly with the clients walking in now, they just think, best thing ever.
I think the strategic objectives were things like a vibrant social hub, which you can see. It was about having an interconnected open environment and getting leadership involved in that. That's definitely taking place as well. Promoting health and wellbeing, promoting learning, so a whole range of different aspects of those strategic objectives I think are definitely being achieved through the new workspace.
I think the interesting thing is the change of aspect you have on each day you come to work. So whereas before you were quite regimented, you were quite fixed in your location, this just brings a whole different attitude to when you walk in the door and select where you're going to sit and work for the day, who you're going to sit and work with for the day. I think the outcome totally exceeds expectations. I think that we had a lot of different ideas that we wanted to integrate into the one design, and PDM as designers have done that very well. And I think that the combined end result is something that really works for us.
My presentation to staff on the opening day, I read out the objectives, and it'd be hard push for anyone to say that we haven't achieved the objectives that they required. We've got the strategic plan up on the wall over there, and what's interesting about that is clients can come in and do invariably come in, look at that, and actually trace through and say, I can see where you're going. And on the top right-hand corner there is new workspaces across Australia. Just the overall feel of the space, it doesn't feel like an office. It encourages people to come in early, it encourages people to stay, because you don't feel when you got to the end of the day that you're the only person in the office. It exceeds my expectations, for sure.